What's cracking, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Freyguys Kitchen. Tonight we're actually going to start with this. So I think I said on my last video that my wife got me an advent calendar with wine, and one of them was this sparkling wine. And this was from a few days ago and I haven't opened it yet, so I feel like tonight's the night. I guess for no other reason than my very first Freyguys Kitchen video posted last night, and so I guess we'll just sort of celebrate with that. So I'm gonna figure out how to open this bitch. Clearly not doing very easily. Swear to God, I'm not stupid. Maybe I am. Okay, I expected to have to like pop that off. So here we go. And my wife wanted a taste of this. Do you want it in your own glass, or do you want it out of this?
I'll taste it. Not on camera.
Not on camera. She doesn't like to be on camera.
Okay.
She's not a big fan of alcohol, folks, but she'll try stuff every once in a while. All right. Now we got that figured out. Cheers. Welcome to my second episode. All right, so tonight we are making baked shrimp taquitos. I'm gonna do some variation of Mexican rice. Once again, I don't have all the ingredients that I thought I had. I'm a little short on the kind of cheese that I want, so I'm improvising with that. And then I'm just kind of winging it with some rice. So let's get started. So I'm gonna make some guacamole first. Guacamole is pretty easy to make. Everybody's kind of got their own way of doing it, I suppose. But I'm gonna make it with 2 avocados. And I know there's probably some of you freaking out going, how dare you cut something with the blade facing you? I don't know what to tell you. Other than, that's how I like to do it. I haven't cut myself so far. But I remember one time I was working, I used to run a theater. It's called a bistro, and it's got a full serve kitchen, full menu, stuff like that. And I was doing some training back there. I was the one being trained. And my kitchen manager watched me do that. He got kind of mad at me. Tyler, I don't know if you remember that, if he's watching, because I was setting a terrible example for my employees. Whoops. All right, got those cut up. So I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I had a long day at work. My theater's closed, as I've mentioned before, so really I spend a lot of my days, unlike what some might think, I don't play Xbox or anything like that at work or watch movies. I clean a lot and organize a lot. And I got to this theater shortly before COVID shut everything down. And so I really didn't get a chance to know people stuff. I have had the opportunity to spend the last 3 months getting to know some of the people that we brought back on when we reopened, and then we were shut back down again on Black Friday. But I didn't get all my projects done that I wanted to. It's a very, very large building, and it's very old, well, relatively old. It's about 23 years old. And so, you know, just a lot of years of stuff, you know, accumulating and things like that, and never having an opportunity to clean all the nooks and crannies and get rid of stuff. So that's basically what I've been doing. So I've spent the last couple weeks thoroughly cleaning my projection booth. I needed it. And it's a 20-screen theater. It's got 3 different projection booths. And moving stuff around and stuff like that. Well, while I was doing that, this is gonna sound kind of cheesy, but I found these like ankle weight things, like 15 pounds each, that you can strap around your legs. I found those the other day, last week. I was like, I could work on that. So I strapped those bad boys on today and walked all over that building. So it's like I can put in like 8 to 10 miles a day in that building. And so I strap those on, and then what I've been having to do is there's all these amps in one projection booth, and then there's a third floor, so one floor up from that booth, on the same side of the building, but to get all of the amps up to this storage room that I want to put them all in, I have to actually go down, across, and then back up, because the other elevator is the one that goes up to the third floor. So I had to do that all day. There's tons and tons of these amps, and they're not very light. So anyway, got my exercise today. Okay, so I mashed up my avocado. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some tomato and some onion. So, some of you may not like guacamole. My wife isn't a fan of avocado or guacamole. I, however, love the stuff. My son's a big fan of it too, or at least he was. I don't know if he still is. He's sitting like right behind y'all. That's right, he said y'all. So anyway, this is mostly for my son and I. So never made this recipe before, so bear with me. I mean, it doesn't seem, when I looked at the recipe, it doesn't seem too complicated or anything, so should be able to bang it out. Getting kind of a late start. It's like, I don't know, 6:30. I guess it's not too late. I just don't really know how long this is going to take. So, we'll see. So I hope you guys, if you watched the video I posted, well by now, by the time you see this one, there'll be 2 videos posted. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And I know I've gotten some feedback. I got about 60 views on the YouTube video since this morning or since late last night, which I don't know if that's good or not, but I was happy to see at least somebody watched it and got some feedback from people. I know I need a camera to watch the food. I'm working on it. I have to talk to the boss about that. You know, my wife. So I'm just going to go ahead and chop all these onions. This is not all for the guacamole, just so you know. But I might as well just do it all at once, right? So, that, I'm not going to use a lot. I don't think we need to go too heavy on the onions. I kind of like it because I like onions, but I like to leave them a little chunky. I like the texture of it, you know, the crunch and stuff like that, so it's good. Alright, I'm going to, slice up a tomato. When I use Roma tomatoes, I just think they're easier to dice. Excuse me. That's the bubbly talking. So we had a conference call today with my boss, checking in on Colorado and whether or not we're going to reopen anytime soon. And I gotta tell you, man, this has been really frustrating because my county doesn't communicate for shit. We've been calling them and emailing them, they don't respond. You know, and it's bad enough to just be shut down because I have a lot of employees who, you know, are out of work right now and it's Christmas time. I'm sure they want to be able to not just buy presents and stuff, but, you know, pay their rent, things like that. I mean, I'm sure, hopefully a lot of them are getting unemployment. You know, it's like, just, can you at least communicate with us and kind of let us know what's up? Just throw a few tomatoes in there. Use the rest for the taquitos. It just sucks, you know. Like some of the other counties, like they have weekly calls and stuff like that. But me and my friend runs a theater across town. You know, we've been emailing, we've been calling. We don't get shit. So, you know, on one hand, it looks likely like we could open sometime soon, and then on the other hand, we have no idea. It could be next week, it could be next month. So, do a little pepper in there. Salt. I like to put some lime juice in there. Put lemon juice in there too. I like lime. I guess it's a matter of personal preference. So. A little regular salt in there. I'm gonna put some garlic salt in there too. A little bit of pepper. Garlic salt. There it is. So the other thing is, I have a pantry like right over there, which is nice. But it's very tiny. My last house had a walk-in pantry. There I have to be very, very organized, and that's a project for this weekend, I think, is to reorganize the pantry and set up some shelves down in the basement to kind of do some overflow. So, I was going to get the mail. Just tired. It's very cold out, it's been snowing, and our mailbox isn't like right outside our house, which sort of sucks a little bit. So this is some pretty chunky guac, which I'm okay with. Riley, you good with some chunky guac? Riley's good with it. Y'all met Riley in the first video, just hanging out, providing moral support. I'm a little nervous for these things. I actually started this video already once. I was not happy with how I started it. I got all in my head about it. So it's incredibly difficult to talk to nobody. I mean, there's somebody, but you don't get anything back. So I had that podcast, at least I'm talking to somebody, and I get something back, So we're gonna start the rice, which I should have started first, just from a time management standpoint. And yeah, I'm doing rice out of the box. Don't judge me. I'm on a time crunch here. So probably do about a cup of rice. I always like to use chicken stock. Mostly when I cook rice, it just adds a little bit more flavor instead of water. So just throw that in there. I actually lit the right burner this time, so that's a banner day. I don't know if I have to walk anybody through how to make minute rice, but it's basically a cup of rice for a cup of liquid. Not super difficult. However, the thing I'm going to do a little bit differently is once the rice is actually cooked and steamed, I'm going to throw it in a pan and I'm going to mix some chilies and tomatoes into it, a little seasoning, just spice things up a little bit. So, I'm just excited. I'm pumped. Did I get anything in the mail? Ooh, what did I get, people? Hey, Christopher Fry. Yeah, that's true. All right, so, okay, so we got the guacamole. We've already got some stuff cut. I've got my shrimp sitting here in the sink. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my onions. I might as well chop up this onion. So, if my theater doesn't open soon, this might be one of the first times in a very, very long time that I get Christmas off. So, much as I don't like to see people out of work, I'm not gonna lie, wouldn't be terrible if I had Christmas Day off, but this time of year is particularly stressful and anxiety inducing for me just because, I don't know, lots can go wrong, staffing issues. It's really, really busy usually, probably won't be this year. So it just stresses me out a little bit. It's always fine. It always ends up fine, but I always just get stressed about it. So. I don't know, maybe you guys have jobs like that. I mean, I'm sure some of the people that are watching right now are in my industry, so you all know what I'm talking about. And some of you stress about it, and some of you like it. But I don't know. I don't always think it's the magical time of year that some people do. So we're going to de-seed this. Remind me not to rub my eyes later. Alright, that's boiling. Put that on, turn that off. All right, back to this. So those of you guys who gave me feedback, you guys are really nice, man. Like, I got some really constructive and nice feedback. It's funny because, you know, some of it was framed in a way of like, oh, bless your heart. You know, clearly, oh, it's a great effort for your first try. You know, it's a very, very nice way of saying, do better, and I will. I'll get better as this goes on. Practice, you know, all that good stuff. But it is harder than it looks, I will say. Like, people, whoa, that was close. People on Food Network, you know, they make it look easy, and I don't know. So, but you know, those are pros. Just getting started here. Alright. Oh, missed a piece. Thank God for fingernails, man. That was close. Nobody minds a little bit of fingernail in their food, right? Okay. Let me look at the old recipe. You all hate these recipes, man, that you just go on forever until you finally get to what you need. Large skillet, saute onion, garlic, jalapeno, and oil until soft. Add the tomatoes, add the shrimp. Okay, so I need to kind of store this away for now until I want to keep the tomatoes relatively separate so that I can clear the board so that I can do the shrimp. I just gotta rinse off the shrimp and then cut her up. So, we'll do this. And that's about enough onion. So we can throw the jalapenos in there too. It's all going in the same place. So got that done. Set that right over there. Get rinse. I don't know if you can hear the dogs fighting. They're getting a little nutty over there. It's really Rocky that's loud. He makes very funny noise. He kind of sounds like Chewbacca. You know. Here comes Taffy. She heard me make noise, so she's gonna come over here and check out what's going on. One of these days, you guys will be able to see her, but they're both. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, shrimp. So, strainer. I'm just gonna dump the shrimp in there, rinse that off a little bit, and then I gotta shell it. So, this will be fun for you to watch, I'm sure. Very exciting. So, Jeff, this might be a good time for you to fast forward. Alright, our shrimp has now been peeled. Probably something I could have done before I started recording, but I'll be honest with you, I forgot. So, with a little movie magic, hopefully you guys didn't have to sit there and watch all that crap. So, got it all peeled, rinsed off. Just like to kind of dry it out a little bit. All right. Cool, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because that's dirty hands. So like I've said, if you guys ever have any requests, recommendations, something you'd like to see, or you know, if I don't do a good enough job explaining something or whatever, let me know. So I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's all Freyguys Kitchen, so just search for that. You'll find it. Just let me know what you're wanting. Be nice. You know, I'm doing this for fun. So not that I don't have some thick skin, but I prefer, you know, people not be assholes about it. That's for my podcast. We can talk about assholes on that, but this is supposed to be fun. So, but yeah, another plug for the podcast. I got a podcast called Karen Isn't Always Right. It's a customer service podcast. We talk about, well, you know, Karens, which is a euphemism for asshole, I guess. And really, it's not. Karen isn't just a woman. Some people will define Karen as a, you know, a suburban white lady with a haircut. But, you know, really, Karens can be anybody. Hopefully none of you are. Don't be assholes, right? So, I'm on all the platforms. Check it out. I'm looking for guests. So if you know anybody who can add value, I always like to talk to people who don't mind coming on a podcast and not just bitching about people who are assholes, but, you know, talking about experiences, what can we do better, what can we learn, advice to give others when, you know, dealing with that kind of stuff. So, anyway, that's what I do. In addition to this, and running a theater. I like to stay busy, so this is how I do that. You know, although this doesn't, what I'm doing right here doesn't consume too much of my time because I'd be cooking anyway. So why not, right? I received a fair amount of feedback, good positive feedback, you know, from what I've been doing. So I saw that my dad had commented on my Facebook post of my YouTube video, and then when I went to look at it, it disappeared. So Dad, I don't know what you're gonna say, but I'm curious. He's a big reason, you know, why I like to cook, and probably why I do it well. And by the way, I'm cutting these shrimp into thirds. That's all I'm doing. So I feel like whole shrimp's probably gonna be too bulky. The recipe probably said what to do. I'm just doing what I think is right. Anyway, I always like to line my baking sheets with foil because it makes cleanup easier and doesn't jack up your baking sheets over the long term. I know some people just cook straight onto the baking sheet, and I call you all savages. Okay? I was born in a barn. A kid, do whatever you want, man. They're your dishes. You're the one that's got to clean up after yourself. So, alright. Set that over there. And then, so right now, I think I'm going to get the rice going a little bit. Yep, did the wrong burner. Always do it, man. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. And then a little bit of olive oil. Let that heat up a little bit. Skillet. A pan. So we're going to cook the filling in this pan. Going in a second. You know, it's not bad actually. I don't usually drink a lot of sparkling wine. I'm not usually a big fan of white wines. I think I mentioned on a previous video, contrary to what it looks like sometimes, I'm not a wine guy. I don't know what good wine is, I'll be honest with you. I remember a good friend of mine, Jennifer, I grew up with her, she's one of my best friends. She was a groom's person in my, groom's lady, whatever you want to say, in my wedding. Shout out to her. One of my best friends. She tried to teach me about wine a long, long time ago, and I was like, not getting it. Nope. So, I mean, I know what I like, and I will try anything. I'll at least once, and you know the white wines aren't doing it for me all the time, so it's cool. Hit it again. I think people get sucked up into that kind of stuff of like, you should be into this or whatever. It's like, just do what you want to do, you know? So onion, garlic, and jalapeno. Some olive oil in there. You know, when you're pouring when you're pouring oil into something, you know, I guess it's probably half a tablespoon maybe. I mean, you don't want to do too much that it's, you know, everything that's getting saturated with oil, but just enough to keep things going, keep it from sticking. You let it heat up enough so where you can coat the pan a little bit, but you don't want it, I don't generally get it smoking. And then, there we go. I'm not really necessarily like trying to fry my rice, but just kind of, you know, keep going a little bit. I think I am gonna toss just a bit of that in there, and then I'm gonna do some diced tomatoes from a can that are fire roasted a little bit. Get those going in there. And do some green chilies. Did the whole can. I didn't use all of the tomatoes. I think I used about half a can. This is just something I'm winging, people. I don't know. I've done it before. I like the taste of it. Others seem to as well. At least I think they do. I do try to be mindful, you know, when I'm cooking, like especially my wife, that I try not to make things too hot. I suck at that sometimes. I'm not always successful. So sometimes she gets a little caught off guard. And her general verbiage is, this has some kick, which means it's too hot. And I done screwed up. So, whoops. Alright, so I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit. We got this heating up, so we're going to go ahead and toss that in. You use the same spatula. This is like my favorite spatula. Super cheap, got it at the grocery store, but I just like the flexibility of it and the size of it. I use it all the time. Use one with slots so that I don't get too much liquid in there. As you can see, I'm not measuring this. Yep, that's hot. I made burritos recently. It turned out really, really good. That might be on the menu next week, per my son's request. But my problem is I think I tend to overfill, you know? Gotta be careful with that. Because it's funny, I posted the picture, and then I said, you know, I suck at rolling burritos. I got a lot of advice. And that's not bad. But I knew what I did wrong. I mean, I knew I overfilled, and I knew that was what my problem was, but you know, I can't help it. You just want to like goodness in there, right? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. What's up? My dog is just hoping, praying that I drop something. Alright. Oh, see, they're breaking. Breaking. Oh, son of a bitch. See, this is why I hate corn tortillas, man. Hey, that's freaking hot. All right, we're back. Aesthetically, not great, but you know, I think the taste will be there. So we're gonna dish these out. Don't judge me. Scoop it on up. Scoop it on up. Delightful. Good color with, you know, the tomatoes and the chili peppers and the onions. It turned out nicely. See, this is where cilantro, you know, as a garnish would look good. Or a rosemary branch, Chris Church. Just kidding, you can put rosemary with this. It's a joke from one of my colleagues, kind of making fun of me one day. Only good food, right? He's a good dude. All right, so there we are, people. We got our baked shrimp taquitos with some Mexican rice. We'll call them exploded or open face baked shrimp taquitos. And I believe this is from Skinny something or other. I'll post the recipe. So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Like I said, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Alexa, please be quiet. See, always be nice. TikTok and Instagram at Freyguys Kitchen. Subscribe to me on YouTube, please. Share with your friends if you like it. I'm always open to recommendations. So until next time, see ya.